Hi everybody, good morning. We're going to start standing today. Okay, so just find a space where you are in your room, and we are going to need them out eventually, but we're going to start just standing up to begin with. Okay, I'm about there. Lovely. I'm going to move this mat out of the way because it ruins the feng shui slightly. A little bit off balance there. Okay guys, so we're going to get warmed up. So just have your feet underneath your hips and just take some nice, lovely, big shoulder rolls. Inhale and exhale. Let's get the blood pumping around the body. Let's get the breath into the body. And let's get super nice and warmed up. Inhale, exhale. And just feel those shoulder blades glide down into your back pockets. Nice. Let's take that into an arm circle. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Just some nice big circles there. Lovely. Awesome. And then just take your arms out to the side. I'm going to turn to an angle for you so you can see. We're just going to contract in and then open the chest. Contract in, open the chest. So I'm just starting right from now to engage my core. That doesn't mean I'm tensing. That just means that I'm just scooping my belly in slightly as I wrap my arms forwards. I'm never letting my shoulders hunch. So you constantly want to think about relaxing the shoulders. You would never want your shoulders to come up like this, okay, because that's going to cause a lot of unnecessary tension. Soften the elbows. Make sure we're not doing this on locked out arms. Let's just do 2 more and 1 more. And then we're going to take a nice big breath in as we reach up. Breathe into the lungs and exhale. And again, take a big deep breath into the bottom, lower part of the lungs. Feel the ribcage expand as you inhale and exhale. Okay, from there, just bend the knees. This is not a squat, it's not a hinge back, it's not a collapse. It's literally bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Don't try and resist it or force your body to go anywhere it wouldn't naturally go. We're just bending and we're just getting some nice tension release on the backs of the legs, on the calves and the tendons. Lovely. And even as we're doing this, we're thinking about that engagement of the core. So we're just thinking about that little belt, just switching on. Okay, it's really important that we don't flop in this way or that we don't try and arch our back either. Literally just bend and stretch. That's good. Do a couple more. Think about your knees tracking the mid part of your foot. So you're making sure they're not like rolling in or rolling out or one going one way, one going the other. They're coming right down through the middle. Let's do 1 more. Awesome. Then come up onto the toes and just walk through the feet. Okay, nice and easy. Lovely. Relax those shoulders. That's brilliant. Keep that going. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, keeping your pelvis nice and stabilized. We're going to go for a roll down. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in. And as we breathe out, we're going to roll from the crown of the head. Now I'm looking down to my tummy. You're going to draw the belly in as you continue to roll. Inhale at the bottom, and then you're going to exhale, just scoop your belly up, and you're going to roll up in sequence and let your head be the last thing that comes up. Let's do that again. Take a breath in, exhale, lift up from the crown of the head, exhale, rolling all the way down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, scoop the belly up and roll up to the top. Head comes up last. Let's do 1 more. Take a breath in and exhale, roll down through the spine. Inhale at the bottom and exhale to come up. So now we are going to go into a hinge back. So this is where you have the feet parallel. You don't have to turn. I'm just going to turn so you can see better. And you're going to just hinge the hips back. Okay? Hinge the hips back. So my body naturally pitches forwards, but I'm not like doing that. This is not me going, right, I've got to lean over there. If the focus is the bottom going backwards, that's where I want to go with it. Now, if you're feeling pain or compression in your lower back, that is because you are arching it like this. So you mustn't arch it. You're just going to keep the body in the same position. So the shape of the torso doesn't actually change. But imagine there's something attached here to your sacrum, like a little hook, and someone's got a rope on that hook and is pulling it back. That's the feeling you want to have. Okay, it's pulling back, and as you do that, your tummy's pulling in. Now, I like to bring the arms forward slightly because it just helps with the balance, but you just have to make sure that you don't end up reaching out like this, yeah? It's literally just a hinge. And your knees will slightly bend, but we must make sure that we don't bend into them, yeah? So they're just naturally, they're just a little bit soft, that's all. And at the moment, we've got even pressure going through both legs, our glutes are waking up, our core is waking up, our hips are tipping backwards, our shoulders are relaxed. Let's do one more. We're going to pretty much do the same, but we're going to do it on a single staggered leg. So you're going to take one leg back a little bit. You're going to bend the knee. Okay, so both of my knees are slightly bent. I'm not locked out on this one, and the back one's not straight. They're both slightly bending. However, they're not collapsed down here. They're just soft. Now, the angle at the knee is basically not going to change. If you put your hands on your hip to start this one, I think it makes it a little bit easier. Pretty much the same thing. You're going to push your butt back and then come up. You're going to push your bottom back. And if you notice, my knees don't actually change. They stay in exactly the same position. And I'm not thinking, oh, I've got to go over there. I'm thinking, I've got to go back there. I'm going back, back, back. Where you really want to feel this is the front leg, of the glutes on the front leg. That's where you're feeling it. So if you just put your hand underneath your butt on the front leg, you should feel the muscle contracting. Okay, so it's just about that glute waking up, okay? And the knees stay in the same position. Now we're going to come down and stay, okay? Don't change the front leg. Keep it where it is. Your glute should be really letting you know where it is now. You're going to take the back leg back. But you're not going to push this knee forward because that will put stress on the knee. Then you're going to lift the leg a little bit, but don't arch into the back. And you're going to do little pulses here, squeezing your bottom, keeping the weight back, lifting up through the tummy. The leg you're standing on should be burning, like the glutes should be really fired up. You'll feel it in the ankle, all those muscles working in an isometric contraction. The leg at the back as well, the bottom, we're squeezing it. So we're working our glutes. The stabilizing leg is super having to work hard. And you could have hands on hips, you could have them forwards. The only thing about putting them forwards is you've got to make sure you don't end up doing that, okay? In 4, 3, 2, 1. That was lovely, wasn't it? Okay, so other side. So you step it back a little bit. Both the knees are slightly bending, but we're not like right down here. They're just soft. Then you just tip your hips back. Okay, and that's how it works. You're going to go back and lift, push back and lift. So my knees pretty much stay at the same angle. And I'm not thinking about collapsing down to the floor. Even though my body's going that way, I'm thinking about my bottom going back. There's a hook here on my sacrum, and somebody's got a piece of rope and is pulling it back. That's the feeling that we want to have. Okay, lovely. So you feel that single glute having to work, single-sided work, really important, otherwise we end up imbalanced. So now we're going to come down, stay. Don't move the front leg, keep it where it is. back leg lifts, and we pulse. Just a little pulse. We keep it quite low. So we're challenging all the stabilizers. Anything that challenges your balance is working your core. And you can see this is like the tiniest little movement, teeny tiny movement. And that's all we need. If we're doing a big movement like this, it's probably not doing much. Teeny tiny movement. This is pulling in. This is squeezing. This is working. This is really burning. If you want to take your arms there, you can. Just don't let it pull you forwards. Little movement out and lengthen the leg. Try and get that back leg together. Watch it doesn't just sort of flop around like this. Strong leg, like you're being pulled, like you want that leg to go a little bit longer. Okay, and keep lifting up through here. That's really important. 4, 3, 2, 1. Was that lovely? Okay, from there, just want you guys just to literally just do a bit of pelvic, nearly said the pelvic thrust then, just the pelvic curls. Yeah, under and back the other way. Just, and we're going north to south, yeah? The top part doesn't move, so we're not like doing the status quo dance. The top bit stays here, and I'm just moving north and south with the pelvis. So at the moment we're going north and south. Let's now go east and west, just side to side, yeah? But again, I'm lifting. So my rib cage is like quite high up, not sticking out there, but it's up, it's above, like my hips are there, and I'm creating like a lot of space here. This is drawing in, not because I'm tensing, but I can just feel that little connection. So we've done north and south, east and west. Let's go around the world. Just a little circle with your hips. Okay, and the rest of the body is pretty much stabilizing. But remember, that doesn't mean like we're going to hold it rigid. We just want to think, right, I'm going to just stabilize the top half. I'm just going to get those hips moving in one direction. Then we're going to change the direction. Easy. And just think, you want to have even pressure through both legs. Notice if maybe you're pushing more into one leg than the other, and then just adjust that if you need to. Now we're going to do something really fancy, a figure of 8. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now things get a little bit, oh yeah, that's a little bit more tricky. It's a little bit of brain power, that one. Okay, don't worry if it's not exactly an 8. Something that resembles an 8. Okay, let's go the other way. Okay, other direction. If you can, might take a little while. Sometimes things like this at first feel like I just can't do that. But then actually, if you just give yourself a chance, it just sort of comes. You just got to be patient with yourselves. And relax. Okay, so from there, you've got your feet underneath your hips. You're going to engage your core. You've got lots of space between the ribs and the hips. You're just going to lift one leg up to chest, waistline. Place it down. Lift the other leg. Place it down. What we're looking to not do here is that. Or that. So we want to stay with the hips exactly as they are. So therefore, we're using our core to engage, to be able to lift the leg, and we're not collapsing. The muscles are working. Glute med, this one here that we were working just now on those lunges, has to work hard to keep you from sinking or collapsing or hiking. So these muscles have to work really hard now to stabilize you. Let's add an opposite arm. Okay, so we're going to exhale, lift, inhale, down. Exhale, lift, inhale, down. And even as you're picking the foot off of the floor, see if you can sort of roll through the foot, heel, ball, toe. Toe, ball, heel to come down. heel ball toe to lift, toe ball heel to go down. And there's no rigidity. There's no rigidity in the body. It's just control. It's engaged. We're strong, but we're not tensing. We're not rigid. Lovely. Just do one more on each side. Awesome. And then from there, just keep the feet back where they are, underneath the hips. Just going to move away from the lampshade. You're going to inhale as you lift and exhale to twist. Bring them all the way down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open and twist the other way. So your pelvis pretty much going to stay where it is. So as I turn my body round, I can feel straight away that that the transverse abdominis is engaging. So your transverse abdominis is your lowest level of abdominals. It wraps around like a corset. And you'll feel when you go into the twist or when you're moving, it kicks in, and it should work autonomously. We shouldn't have to like go, right, I'm going to tense it, engage it, and then I'm going to start moving. We just want it to work naturally. But I just want you guys to bring an awareness to it, because that's what's stabilizing your spine. And as I'm opening those arms out, I'm keeping very lifted. So we're thinking about height, we're thinking about space in the spine. What we don't want to do is compress. Sometimes when we do it, we end up sort of coming down like that and we're compressing the spine. We very much want to lift up and expand the chest, lengthen those arms, but always keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Let's do one more. And then from there, we're going to go into the scarecrow. I'm just letting my arm naturally move up, but I'm not going right. I'm going to pick my elbow up. I'm going to pick it's just happening. It's just naturally happening as I stretch my spine. Now remember, as I always say about this one, it's how you think about it is going to make a big difference. If I'm thinking about going down, it's going to become quite squishy. But if I think about going up, then I'm going to get stretch in the spine and space in the body. So I'm thinking up, I'm lifting up, I'm allowing my side rib to open up to the ceiling. I am not letting my shoulders go hunchy. I'm keeping my core engaged. And it should feel really nice. So then we add an arm reach. And again, let that arm just take you up to the ceiling. Let it reach you up. Extend. Extend. Awesome. And two more. And relax. Okay, just circle the wrists. Nice and easy. Just take them out to the sides. And all the way up to the ceiling, still thinking about height of the body, relaxing the shoulders. And then turn the arms the other way. Circle them around. And let's get our mats. Or carpet, or fluffy rug, whatever it is that you are going to be laying on. Okay. Okay, we're going to go straight to 4-point kneeling, okay? So, hands on the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Remember in this position that we mustn't collapse like that. You've got to be up, shoulders away from your ears, and head mustn't go past the shoulders. This is what I mean by mustn't go past the shoulders. So we're there. Shoulders away from ears. Draw your tummy muscles in. If you pull in your tummy muscles here from the front, it will lengthen out your spine and give you space in your back, okay? We're going to very slowly extend an arm and an opposite leg, but we're going to keep the toe on the floor for now. So we extend away and we keep the toe on the floor just for now, and we make sure that we haven't overstretched it. Okay, we've just kept the torso in the same position. Then we're going to bring that arm and leg back in. Then we do the other side. Let's go. Exhale as we extend away. Keep lifting up through the tummy. Inhale to bring it back in. Exhale, reach away. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale away. Inhale in. Let's keep going. Can you try to get the feeling that when you're extending your arm away, that you're not doing this? Because I just let my shoulder just sort of go up with the whole arm. And all I've done is just move the position of the body. I haven't really done anything. And what I need to do is get the feeling that the shoulder is going that way as my arm goes forward. So now I've got space rather than there. So let's add on to this. Let's add the leg that you're going to slide, and then the leg will lift slightly, but keep it quite low. This is not about trying to kick the leg up high and bring it back in. So as you slide the leg away and lift the leg into the air, you're squeezing your bottom, you're engaging your core, and you're still looking at the floor without drooping the neck. And think about pushing the floor away with your hands. You've got your muscles underneath your armpit very much working. We're going to add on to this. So we're going to extend out. Then we're going to contract the abdominals. Bring the elbow to the knee. Go back out to straight and place it down. So we're going to extend away long. Elbow to knee. Back out to straight. And back in, really focusing on that stability, keeping your body in control as you do this, not compensating, making sure we're not gripping our hands or anything like that. And your breath is super important. Every now and then think, oh, hang on a minute, am I holding my breath? And we need to breathe. If you make a sound when you breathe, it does actually ensure that you do it, because it's really easy to end up holding your breath. We all do it. Let's do one more. And relax. Okay, well done, guys. Come and sit on your bottom with your feet in front of you, okay? Soles of feet flat on the mat, and you're going to stay right up on your sit bones. You are going to put your hands just underneath your thighs, okay? Elbows are wide, not to do this with. Elbows are wide to draw the shoulders down. You are going to sit nice and tall. Your feet must stay on the floor. Heels is okay. Doesn't matter if the whole foot doesn't go flat, but you mustn't let the feet come off the floor. You are just going to roll through your sacrum and create a C shape, and then roll back up. So as you roll away, you'll feel that your arms go a little bit straight. But I'm not trying to lay onto the floor. I'm just trying to create like a C shape with my spine. So as I pull in through the bottom here and scoop, this bit comes up that way. So it's like I'm getting both ends stretching. That's the feeling I want to have. And my lower tummy is going to really flatten in. So it's this like flattening in feeling as that rolls under there and this comes up over here. And I'm just getting the feeling that my shoulder blades are just drawing down away from my ears. So I can feel this low panel working hard. If you want a little bit more, we're going to start to take the arms off of the legs, but don't lose the essence of what we're doing. Still get that nice stretch. Sometimes what happens is we collapse. We end up thinking we're doing it, and what we're doing is this, collapsing down. Yeah, and actually it's all about stretching. So you've got to think, when that bit's rolling that way, it's almost like that's being pulled up over that way. And then you get the core really working and the hips opening. You want to get the feeling that your belly button is being pulled towards your spine. Okay, this time we're going to roll all the way down and stay there. Okay, bring your feet in so they are in line with your knees and your hips. So when you're laying there, you've got to make sure that everything's in the right alignment. You don't want to have the feet too wide or too narrow, or one going one way, one going the other. Sit bones, knees, ankles is kind of where you want to be. Arms are down by the side of your body. Lightly press your arms into the mat and engage the shoulder girdle. Make sure the ribs are not popping, so soften those ribs down. You want to be in what we call neutral spine. So flat across the top here. So if you were to make a little triangle, it would lay in the same horizontal plane, and underneath your back would be enough room just to get your fingers, but not a whole hand. You can get all of your hand underneath, that is too much, okay? So we're going to go for a nice shoulder bridge. So we take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to roll the pubic bone to the belly button, roll to the tip of the sacrum. Squeeze your bottom as you start to come off the mat, and when you get to the top, your pelvis is higher than your ribs. Soften the ribs down, really squeeze your bottom. The more you squeeze the bottom, the more height you'll get in the pelvis without pushing your back to go up. Check that your knees are not veering off to the side. Have them tracking in towards each other. And then as you come down, pulling through the middle and rolling sequence to roll back out. And it's quite hard to get that lower part of the back to a rolling sequence. It very often feels like it's plonk coming down in one piece. The more we do it, the looser it's going to get, and the more we use our core, the better. Okay, so let's just start doing it. We're rolling up and rolling down. And I want you guys to think about your shoulder girdle. So you're thinking about those shoulder blades sort of pressing into the floor, not with brute force, but if you keep that feeling of connection, you've got that platform of support at the top. It's important that your head doesn't tip backwards. It's also really important that your chin doesn't jam onto the chest either. So you want to feel your glutes working. You want to feel your core engaging. You want to feel your shoulder girdle, the muscles around the shoulder blades having to work. And you're noticing, not by sitting up and looking, but you're thinking in your head, oh, am I coming down evenly on both sides? Or am I doing a bit of a zigzag? So you're trying to get that even pressure, or that evenness, rolling like a string of beads. Using your core. The more you use your core, the better you will articulate your spine, the easier it will become. When you're at the top there, you're thinking about pressing your knees away from your head. And you're just making sure, this is so important, that the knees don't flare out. That's one of the biggest things that I find goes wrong with this one. So you've got to keep the knees tracking the midline, like they're tracking the hips. We're going to do just one more. Okay, well done. From there, we're back in neutral, establishing that neutral spine. Core is engaged, space between ribs and hips stays the same. We're going to allow one leg to float to the top and place it down. Then the other leg floats to the top. And place it down, and so on. Now think about your pelvis not moving. Think about your tummy staying in the same position. So you don't want your belly to push out. You don't want your back to change. Everything has to stabilize. That space between the ribs and the hips is going to stay the same. It's not going to change, okay? Your fingertips are still very much sort of reaching towards your ankles. So now we're going to lift one leg, and then we're going to lift the other leg without bunching our belly or using our back. From there, float your arms up above you. So stabilize shoulder girdle. Make sure we're not just here. Yeah, you want to feel like your shoulder blades are drawing towards your back pockets. Put your right hand on your right knee and just keep it there. That's just going to stay there. It's not going to push or do anything weird. It's just going to stay there. The left arm and the left leg are going to gently extend and then come back. And this is pretty much like what I was talking about when we were doing 4-point kneeling. Even though your arm and leg are reaching away, you're anchoring it back into the body. So the femur is anchoring back into the acetabulum. Yeah, your shoulder blade is drawing back in towards your body. So it's stretching away, but it's also drawing back in. You do want to get the full extension though. You don't just want your legs sort of just to do that and then come back in. However, if it does feel like it's too much, you could go tap the toe and lift. Okay, that is another choice that you could make. You have got to really use your core though. And again, not tensing, but you've got to imagine if you had on like a belt, and the further out your arm and leg go, the tighter that belt's got to become. Your back should never arch off the floor, and you should never have to push it into the floor either. Okay, let's see if we can keep the legs in the air and try the other side. So your hips are working as well. Some people say, oh, I've got to stop because my hips are hurting. Well, we are working the hips, so you are going to feel that there. That's kind of like saying, I'm not going to do any more squats because my glutes are hurting, and we want the glutes to hurt. It's kind of like saying, I'm not going to do any more sit-ups or abdominal work because my abs are hurting. It's exactly the same thing. So yes, they get a bit achy, but we are working them. We want them to be strong. So hips can become very tight, but that doesn't mean they're strong. They can be tight and weak. So we want them to be, you know, we want them to be mobile and flexible and strong and functional. So they work for us. So this should be really challenging your core. All of your torso has to work really hard to stabilize. And remember, we must breathe. So we're doing that exhale as we extend away. Inhale back in. Now, if it does feel too much, you could put the bottom leg on the floor and just do it like this. You could even do the toe tap with the bottom leg on the floor if you need something a little bit less, okay? We're just going to do a couple more. And then hold the knees. Now, I'm just going to get you guys just to sort of circle. I'm going in opposite directions, yeah? My knees are going out and they're coming in. They're going out to the sides and then they're coming in. So I'm sort of going out to the sides with them and then in. They're both moving in opposite directions. And I'm just getting a little bit of mobility there through the hips. And that just feels quite good. Just loosening up. Let's see if we can change the direction. Okay, so I'm just doing 2 little outward circles. Okay, awesome. Let's roll over into our tummy. Okay, so come on over. We're going to work through the posterior chain, the back of the body, and anything when you're working the back of the body stretches the front of the body. So we're going to get a nice hip stretch here as well. So you're going to come up onto your elbows, okay, and you're going to draw your belly in. Now, it's really important when you're on your elbows, what I need you to do is I need you to push your elbows into the floor to give you height. So you can feel like your shoulder blades are drawing down and you're lifting up as opposed to this. So we're there. And then your pubic bone is touching the floor, but your tummy muscles lift. Yeah, tummy muscles lift. Squeeze your bottom a lot. Now, if you are not strong enough to hold this position and you feel like, well, your back's just taking all of it, then you're going to do the whole thing like this. Okay, but otherwise we're going to go for a single leg kick. Now, as I bend my knee and bring my heel to my bottom, I'm really squeezing my bottom and lengthening my thigh. I'm not letting my hip come up like this. Yeah, so often what you see is this happens. I'll show you. This is what can go wrong. And as I lift that, because my hips are so tight, that would happen and the back then gets more tight. So you've got to squeeze and not let a hip come off the floor. You're lifting out of those shoulders. Just be aware that you're not now doing this, yeah, or this. Lift up, pubic bone touching the floor. Scoop your tummy in, and we're alternating the legs. Exhale to bend, inhale to stretch it away. Exhale, bend, inhale, stretch it away. Keep lifting through your tummy. Really feel like you're getting some height through the body. Imagine there's like a bright light shining out of your breastbone forwards. Okay. Keep lifting up through those lower abdominals. Squeeze your bottom. Squeeze it. And as that leg is going down to the floor, lengthen it. Like it's going through thick treacle. That's the feeling you want to have. Reaching it away. Keeping the legs quite close together. Yeah? Let's do one more on each side. Well done, guys. And then relax. Okay. Come down to your tummy. You're going to take your arms out in front of you, okay? But what's really important here is that the shoulders do not go with the arms. As in, this would not be good. My shoulders must draw away. That's key to this, shoulders away from this. Then you've got to have your tummy very much lifting in away from the floor. If you don't lift your tummy and pull your tummy muscles in towards your body, then what will happen is if you just let your guts hang out, your pelvis will go into an anterior tilt and it will push into the lower back and you'll get a lot of compression there. So you have to lift your tummy muscles in. So you can feel that your pubic bone is touching the floor, but the actual muscles on your tummy are just gently lifting up. And you're activating from the muscles, not by moving your bottom or back, okay? This is going to be like the smallest movement ever. This is not about going up, it's just about lengthening. So my opposite arm and leg are going to, now first of all, I'm going to squeeze my thigh so that my knee extends. And then I'm going to gently lift my opposite arm and leg and hold. And I'm going to stay there. And I haven't twisted anything. I haven't gone up really, really high. I'm not trying to like reach out like that. I just lifted. And then I'm going to place it down. Then I'm going to do the other side, lift. So, and then just keep alternating. Think about where the lift is coming from. When I lift my arm, I'm actually drawing my shoulder blade into my back pocket to get that lift activated. When I lift my leg, I'm squeezing my bottom, squeezing my thigh so that I don't go into the back. If this is hurting your shoulders or your back, we're not getting it. We're not getting it. We need to go back to the drawing board and have a little think. And even if you didn't actually lift the hand and foot or the leg and arm, but you were thinking about doing it, that might be enough for you today. Okay, that might be where you are at the moment. You're thinking about recruiting the right muscles. There is no point just doing it for the sake of it and just lifting it, but we're not using the right muscles because we'll just actually regress our progress. So it's not about height, it's about using your glute, your shoulder girdle, your stabilizers. You're pulling in your tummy. If you're doing it right, it should feel like a challenge. And just pubic bone is touching floor, lower tummy pulls in. We're going to do one more on each side, guys. And then when you've done that, come into a lovely shoulder stretch. Well done. Just let your forehead rest down. Arms by the side of the body. Just let them relax over there. Awesome. Okay, well done. Come back to 4-point knee. Let's do a bit of a cat stretch. So again, we're nice and lifted. We're not sinking into the arms here. We're lifting up. And we're going to scoop up through the centre. Head comes in slightly. Tail under one way, head the other. Scoop up through the belly. And then we go out the other way. Tailbone out one way, chest the other, shoulders away from the ears. So we're getting that lovely stretch in the spine. Let's keep moving. Connecting with the breath. And release. Okay, just come up onto your knees. And just do some nice, gentle shoulder rolls. Inhale, exhale. And even as we're on knees, we're thinking about that even pressure between both legs, making sure we're not going too far one way or the other. And we're just letting those shoulder blades just glide down into the back pockets. And then just bring your fingertips to your shoulders and just do some nice little circles going that way. Lovely. That's really nice. And then just let your arms just hang and just go ear to shoulder and lift, and the other way, ear to shoulder and lift. And one more. Now, without using our hands, we're going to step up, 1 and 2. And then we're going to go back down. Come down. Come down. Other leg leads the way. Step up. Step up. Come down. Come down. So your core is having to work. If I start using my hands and arms, my core doesn't need to work. Also, I'm going to avoid sort of giving myself momentum. I just want to use this. So think about this band drawing in, and that is what's going to get you to come up. Yeah, that's good. And then that other side, drawing in, lift, lift, coming down. Let's do one more on each leg, okay? And this is the way we should always get up, out of a chair, out of bed, whatever it is you're doing. Try and always do it this way. Never use your hands to help you. Okay, stay standing. Let's just finish with some nice roll down. So feet underneath the hips, take a breath in. Exhale, roll, keep the core engaged as we come all the way down. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, scoop the belly, rolling up. Head comes up last. Inhale, exhale, roll down, bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. Inhale at the bottom, Exhale, scoop and roll up. And one more time, take a breath in. Exhale, roll down. Inhale and exhale, rolling up. Take a big breath in. Breathe it out. And give yourselves a clap. Well done, thank you. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you on the next class. Thanks, guys. Take care.